Ooh, hello there, sailors! And anyone else thinking of travelling this week by boat. Good evening from your wet orifice. I am little Johnny. I hope you all had a fabulous weekend full of fireworks and scarves and train-filled terror whilst pretending everything in the sky and on your streets is perfectly normal. Anyway. So tonight we are seeing what we like to call a change in weather type, which is a polite way of saying something strange is happening again. But we are not going to worry ourselves, no, we are going to smile and pretend we understand the charts. Now, if you step outside right now, it might feel a bit chilly. Very nearly bonfire night, very autumn vibes. But the temperatures are actually going to rise overnight, which is a bit odd because normally nighttime is the time that things get colder. But the air has decided it is doing something different tonight. Science. So if you're heading out again later, put a coat on, but also maybe do not, because the weather has lost its personality and is going for something experimental. Right, okay, just before we go any further with the satellite loop, I do feel like I should explain something. Because if you're wondering why I'm holding my finger like this, like I'm pointing at a UFO, there is a reason. So last night after dinner, I popped round to my friend's flat. Well, he's more than a friend, but we don't label things. It's 2025. Labels are for soup cans. Anyway, we were watching a documentary on mushroom foraging. Very romantic, lots of spores and passion. And at some point we ended up, well, let's just say we weren't watching mushrooms anymore. And I thought everything was perfectly lovely, until this morning when I realised something from that evening had, let's say, travelled with me. And now I've got, well, some of it on my finger, which explains this pose and the very delicate hand movements I'm currently performing across the national rainfall map. Anyway, enough about that. Let's talk about wind pressure. Not like that. Now, the reason for the temperature change is this large swirling system pushing in from the west. This is ex-Hurricane Melissa. We do not call it a hurricane anymore because that sounds scary and dramatic. Now it is just a friendly little low pressure system, even though it was recently throwing palm trees at buildings like they were confetti at a wedding. The winds are rotating around it and dragging lots of warm air towards us from somewhere out in the Atlantic. Possibly the Caribbean. Possibly a weather factory. Just kidding, we do not have those. I think. Anyway, if we rewind the clock back, you will see lots of cloud forming in neat straight lines across the ocean. Which is interesting because clouds are usually fluffy and natural and not arranged like someone has been combing the sky. But that can happen sometimes, for reasons. As this system moves in, we are going to see a lot of rain, especially across the north and west. Some areas may get more rain than soil can emotionally cope with, so do take care when travelling. Standing water is likely where the land has simply given up. The further east you go, there is a better chance of staying dry. You lucky things. You may even see a bit of sunshine breaking through. A rare treat, like seeing a fox in a waistcoat. Now, it is going to be windy everywhere. Proper hair-ruining wind. If you have patio furniture, kiss it goodbye. If you have a trampoline, it is about to belong to someone in a different postcode. Over to your migrant forecast now, and after taking a quick look at our Stabalot radar, it looks like there's a heavy chance of infiltration blowing in from every direction, and that could mean we could be looking at possibly reaching highs of around 15 stabbings on Monday. Maybe 16, 17 more by Friday towards the north of the country. It all depends on those winds and just how many sailors it blows across, which is a bit suspicious for November. But the official term is above average, which means we are moving on and not asking questions. Into Tuesday, the low pressure stays close to the northwest. Lots of tightly packed lines on the charts, which means unsettled conditions, or as I like to call it, weather that is in a mood. Rain could set itself up in a southwest to northeast band. Sometimes the rain does that. Lines, straight lines, geometric shapes. Sort of like something is steering it. Not literally, of course. I'm sure that would be ridiculous. Southern Wales and southwest England could see heavy rainfall all day. Flooding possible. Bring your wellies and spiritual strength. But again, some places in the southeast may stay dry. They always do. And that theme continues for the week. Unsettled but mild. Active skies. Nothing to see. Everything normal. Alright then, that is everything from me. I have been little Johnny, fresh from university, degree in geography, still not sure how clouds work, learning on the job. Have a lovely night, look after each other.